Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 24th of August. So sorry, fractionally late recording this morning. It's it's just on 8 o'clock, so slightly late, but here goes. Anyway, the euro dollar first. Well, we've got a pivot swing sitting there, a bearish pivot swing sitting there on the dailies. If that is to break yesterday's low, that does look like it. Well, we may have more of a corrective move. However, at the moment, through this Asian session, we've seen the euro rally back up. In fact, it did a bullish pivot swing on the 4-hourly time frame and seen a follow through from that so far. Now, where to then? Well, it's a bit bitty, really. It's beyond its daily pivot. Yesterday was a particularly bitty day until it was really late in the day when it started breaking down there. It's bit of a nothing day, really. Today, well, it's already hit the daily pivot. It's pretty close into yesterday's highs, not far off them. Maybe it's got the chance of doing so. To the downside, well, it's put lower highs in, a lower low. Is it going to confirm this and do it again? If it starts breaking these lows here, the current hourly lows, well, maybe yes, but I said it yesterday, be wary of it a little bit, and maybe this morning need to be patient, even more patient this morning to see what sets. It did throw a couple of duff signals there yesterday for me, so wary. Maybe the downside may have it, but we'll see how that runs. The pound. Now again, from a daily perspective, we've got a daily a pivot swing, a bearish pivot swing even, and well, it has just triggered the lower part of that, but again, just seeing a little blip up at the moment. On most time frames, this to me looks relatively negative. It, as I said yesterday, they both had divergences, the euro and the pound, and well, the pound at the moment it has pitched up a little bit further. Has yet to hit the daily pivot. That would be a reasonable target for it in the short term, and I'll look for the reaction off that. Again, with lower highs, lower lows. It did break earlier yesterday, really at 3 o'clock. It broke those previous lows there and sold off. Again, bit of patience needed in this market. Maybe this morning it has got the potential just running up to that pivot. At the moment, we're only about 11 pips away from it, or less. Less now, 8 pips so to speak. See the reaction to that. If it breaks through and starts moving up, fine, but we may just find some resistance around that level. If you're a bit more conservative, you may just be waiting for a break of the trend line. Okay, dollar yen, well, it's softened quite a bit. I mean, the previous day it didn't quite put a pivot swing in, but it's that same sort, almost there. Follow through most of yesterday, chopped for a long time, for hours in fact, and then eventually went run into an upper cloud actually. On here it's looking like it's got a bit of a sell-off going at the moment. It's maybe just got a bit more corrective potential there, but to the way it's just moved this week, it's been wanting to head further and further north. Maybe we'll see some more, but it's not quite a double top here, but there, as I say, there is some resistance on different time frames and different analysis I'm using there at the moment. To the downside, well, it has got the daily pivot untouched. We didn't get down there yesterday. We may not do it again today, but even the 60.21 never got hit yesterday. May see that hit at some point. At least it looks a bit more likely, and maybe the daily pivot, but at the moment the continuation to the upside looks possible. Aussie dollar, well, I said yesterday we might have got a bounce. Well, it didn't do anything like looking like a bounce. The news was sort of we just saw a consolidation following that news, and well, and eventually it failed as the other markets fouled through there, and it's fouled through the later session there. As I said again, this one ran and broke a little bit earlier, about 1 o'clock there. but failed there. But for now, it's bouncing. Again, we've got consolidation on the bounce side. Maybe it will pitch back up if we see these markets rally. We see the pound and the euro start moving up. Maybe there's room for the Aussie dollar to follow suit. But really, with these sort of movements, it doesn't look great. There was a bit of divergence, I would say, though, on the 60-minute there. We may have we've pretty much worked that off. But so potential on the continuation from this consolidation in what was or is an upward move, but not looking the best. As are most of these markets, they're not looking fantastic leading into a bank holiday Friday. And well, Canadian dollar, you can see there's a big wedge appearing now with these lows from this week. Wednesday's low there, really across the lows there. You could be drawing the alternative lens. There's a bit of a wedge sort of formed. Now it's still got the lower highs. It's not put in a new low, but there is the potential if it was to start strengthening significantly. There's a trend line across the 4 hourlies, which if it starts breaking, where it could show softness, but it does then just run into support. Let's just run down the time frame to the 60 minutes here. And one thing it does have that might destroy it there is that daily pivot. Yeah. I mean, again, this was one that for much of the day yesterday, and it was 1 o'clock again before this started moving, and they're pretty late movers, some of these, and well, we'll just see what happens this morning. It may be that it will just have to wait until the late afternoon before it really does too much. But as I say, it's bank holiday, so be wary. News-wise today, there's very little really. 1:30, we've got the core durable goods orders. It creates volatility. It doesn't necessarily give anything in the way of direction. That's at 1:30 US core durable goods. But we do have the Jackson Hole symposium, and there may be speakers coming from that. Certainly at 3 o'clock, the Fed Chair Powell is due to speak at that meeting, and could create some volatility late on. We've also got an MPC member speaking at 1:55. Well, he's there as well. Okay, so we've got one of our speakers there. So member Haldane speaking. So changing market structure and implications for monetary policy. Okay, right. Okay, I mean, I don't think he's going to give anything away on the pound or whatever else. Fed Chair Powell may say something more about the US dollar and and what they're doing. I would be surprised if Haldane said too much. I think it looks like it's more structured around a particular subject. Right, sorry, that's me done for the day. Have a great one. Bye for now.